The debate around Caitlin Clark's arrival in the WNBA has been loud, divisive, and let's be honest, pretty ugly at times. And every games feels like a national event. Every hard foul, a week-long debate. But what if the most important voice in this whole conversation isn't a current player or a hot take artist on TV? What if it's a legend who literally helped build the league they are all fighting over? And the WNBA pioneer Nancy Lieberman just cut through all the noise with a dose of reality that proves why the old guard knows Clark is the one forcing the world to finally pay attention. And the arguments are circular because the takes are scorching, but Lieberman's perspective offers the ultimate validation that we watched a fundamental shift in sports history. And you stick around because we're going to break down the legend's final word on the rookie who changed the game. So the discourse around Caitlin Clark's entry into the WNBA has been nothing short of a whirlwind. And on one side, you have millions of new fans pulled in by a generational talent who can shoot from the logo and pass with mind bending creativity. But then on the other, you have this narrative of veteran jealousy of a league giving a rookie welcome to the pros moment every single night. And the conversation quickly spiraled into a shouting match because is the physicality she's facing just a normal rookie experience or is it targeted? Are veteran players resentful of her instant fame or are they just competing at the highest level? So the media has been more than happy to fan these flames, creating a 24/7 outrage cycle. And then, as we all know, I want to show you guys just to recollect your memory when it came to Kennedy Carter, right? Kennedy Carter and Caitlin Clark incident, and this was the incident.
On the play before bumping in with Caitlin, it seemed like she turned to you a little bit
Yeah,
after the fever
I ain't
score.
answering no Caitlin Clark questions.
Did she say anything to you?
I don't know what she said.
What'd you say?
So, this was the incident, as you guys can see in a little box here, of Kennedy Carter basically hip checking Caitlin Clark. The play was dead. There was no play going on. The game wasn't playing. Everything was, you know what I'm saying? It was an inbound happening, but her obviously Caitlin Clark teammate just got the ball to inbound the ball, but it was no live action of a play for you to be doing all that, and it's unnecessary regardless. So when you look at things and the 24-hour, 24/7 outrage and a hip check from Kennedy Carter becomes a national incident, former NBA players weigh in only to be corrected by the sports royalty. New fans like Clark's impact is being downplayed, while some longtime followers feel the pioneers who built the league are being disrespected. But this old guard versus new school storyline became the toxic central theme of her rookie season, a narrative so powerful it often overshadowed the incredible basketball being played for all players. And the WNBA had more eyes on it than ever, and it still does. But the conversation was stuck in a loop of us versus them. And it was a debate screaming for a voice of reason, someone with the authority to put it all in context. And that's where Nancy Lieberman steps in. Shout out to her. And before we get to her take, you have to understand who Nancy Lieberman is, right? Because I don't think some people understand who she is, and that's fine because I'm going to give you the full context here and put a face to a name and a name to a face. So this isn't just another pundit. This is Lady Magic, a Naismith Basketball Hall of Famer. Lieberman is one of the most foundational figures in women's basketball history. She was a silver medalist with Team USA at just 18 years old in 1976, and she led Old Dominion University to two AIAW national championships. Now, for those who don't know what AIAW is, basically, AIAW is the Association for Intercollegiate Athletics for Women. So Association for Intercollegiate Athletics for Women. And the organization that ran women's college sports before the NCAA even exists. So when you look at it, because the AIAW was governing the body for women's intercollegiate sports in the United States from 1971 until 1982, when it dissolved after being challenged by the NCAA. But its purpose was based on educational model of athletics created by and for women, right? Prioritizing women well-being and also focusing on the educational needs and overall welfare of student athletes, not just athletic performance. And when you look at that, right, this is a woman who have two of those awards, AIAW national championships, and the precursor to the NCAA tournament. And her impact goes far beyond trophies. She broke barriers by playing in a men's professional basketball league and became the first woman to coach a professional men's team in the NBA's development league. And her career is a story of fighting for every ounce of respect and proving that women belonged on the court and on the sidelines. And she has seen the league from its earliest days, understands the pioneer struggles, and has the credibility that no casual commentator could ever dream of, right? And her voice isn't just one of many. It's a voice of historical authority. When I, you know, see her face. So when she weighs in on the Caitlin Clark debate, her words weren't just an opinion. They were a history lesson and a prophecy rolled into one. And in the middle of all the yelling, Nancy Lieberman appeared on the That's Fed Up podcast, right? And I'm not sure if you guys are familiar with this podcast. Literally, she was on there just a day ago. So I'm gonna show you guys the podcast. So she literally appeared on this podcast. And this is the channel. You guys could go subscribe if you want. And this was a day ago, it was posted, right? As you guys can see, a day ago, she went live with them. So I want to get to this clip, right? And on That's Fed Up podcast, an entertainment show hosted by entrepreneur A.D. Dolphin and comedians Joshua Engel and Alejandro Gonzalez, and delivered a simple, powerful truth that reframes the entire conversation. Check it out.
I did my job. Taurasi did her job. Bird, Catchings, Brittany Griner, everybody had a hand 28, 29 years later in the growth of women's basketball. But what Caitlin did in college, she got you watching. She got the average person watching. She got mom and grandma watching. And she's doing economically what Tiger Woods did for golf. He changed the attendance. He changed the ratings. He changed the purses. I don't know, were a lot of guys jealous of him? I'm sure there was jealousy. I'm sure a lot of white guys were jealous of him because as a black man, he changed the game. Michael Jordan, 1984, when he came into the league, it was, Bird and Magic were turning the corner, and MJ just flipped it on its head. The licensing agreements changed, the attendance in the arenas that were half full. The league put his games on national TV all the time, like they're doing with Caitlin Clark. It's okay. It's okay to be great. It really is. She is a great player. I know she's had injuries this year. Larry Bird's had injuries. Michael has injuries. I had injuries. A lot of Tiger Woods has had injuries, but it can't take away from what she's done economically.
Exactly. Bingo. So she said, I did my job. Taurasi did her job. Bird Catchings. Everybody had a hand in the growth of women's basketball. But what Caitlin did in college, she got you watching. She got the average person watching. And this isn't a statement of jealousy. It's an acknowledgement from a primary architect of the sport that while the legend led the foundation, Clark triggered a systemic event that they never could. Lieberman isn't diminishing the legacies of players like Diana Taurasi, Sue Bird, or Tamika Catchings. She's honoring them. And they are the ones who built the house. They poured the concrete, framed the walls, and put the roof on. And they fought for the league's survival when no one was watching. But Caitlin Clark is the one who brought the world to the front door. She's the one who made people who had never even thought about watching a WNBA game like myself tune in by the millions. So Lieberman compares it to the NBA before and after Michael Jordan, and Larry Bird and Magic Johnson saved the league. But as she put it, Michael Jordan just flipped it on his head. That is the role Clark is playing. So Lieberman's perspective is that this isn't a conflict, it's an evolution. And she didn't stop there because she has repeatedly called on players to stop the infighting and see the bigger picture. And she says, in her words, unquotes, if she happens to be the cash cow right now, embrace it and don't be petty. She said, urging players to celebrate the moment. Lieberman powerfully stated that what Clark is doing will one day help make all the women in the league multimillionaires. Just like Tiger Woods and Michael Jordan did for their sports, this take from a legend dismantles the jealousy narrative and replaces it with a story of economic and cultural transformation. And Lieberman's words aren't just a feeling, they're backed by an avalanche of undeniable data. And the Caitlin Clark effect is quantifiable economic and a cultural earthquake. And let's talk viewership, right? Let's talk about it. Her 2024 regular season debut was the most watched WNBA game on ESPN2 ever. Throughout the 2024 season, WNBA games on ESPN platforms averaged 1.19 million viewers, a staggering 170% increase, a 170% increase from the previous year. So one finance professor calculated that Clark and the Fever accounted for nearly 45% of the WNBA's total broadcast value in her rookie season. Even in the 2025 season, with Clark missing some games due to her injury, the league's overall viewership is up 21% over its record-breaking 2024 average. So showing a sustained interest she helped ignite. When Clark was injured, and she still is injured right now, reportedly, reports indicated that nationally televised viewership for the league dropped significantly, with one outlet citing a 55% decrease, proving she is the primary draw. So now for attendance in 2023, the Indiana Fever's average attendance was just over 4,000. In 2024, it skyrocketed to over 107. It skyrocketed over 17,000. Sorry, family. It skyrocketed over 17,000, and the team set a single season franchise attendance record. And the Washington Mystics had to move their game against the Fever to the massive Capital One Arena, drawing over 20,000 fans, one of the largest crowds for a WNBA regular season in league history. So the economic impact is just stunning because WNBAstore.com had its highest grossing regular season ever, and Clark's jersey became the top selling jersey for any player in any sport on Fanatics shortly after the draft. As an analysis by a finance professor at Indiana University, Columbus estimated Clark was responsible for 26.5% of all WNBA economic activity in her rookie year, and projected her impact could approach an astonishing $1 billion in 2025. So the value of Indiana Fever franchise itself is estimated to have soared, with one analysis suggesting Clark's presence boosted its value from around $90 million to over $340 million. So this financial boom is fueling the entire league's growth, including a new $2.2 billion media rights deal starting in 2026 and confirmed expansion teams in Golden State, Toronto, and Portland. So Lieberman said Clark is generational, comparing her to MJ and Tiger, and the numbers don't lie because she has almost single-handedly changed the economic reality of an entire professional sports league. So what Nancy Lieberman's perspective ultimately provides is a bridge from the past to the future. She honors the legends who built the league brick by brick while anointing Caitlin Clark as the catalyst for an entirely new era. And this isn't about choosing sides. It's about understanding that the dream the pioneers fought for is finally being realized, baby. And even if it's in a way none of them could have predicted. And the goal was always for the WNBA to be a major mainstream sports league. Cheryl Swoops, Lisa Leslie, Cynthia Cooper, they all wanted this. Caitlin Clark is simply the unexpected vehicle delivering that dream to the front door. And the conversation is no longer about whether the WNBA can survive. It's about how high can it soar. So Clark's arrival has shifted the perception of women's basketball from a niche sport to must-watch TV, and her games are water cooler topics because her highlights lead to sports shows, and her rivalries are creating appointment viewing. So this is what Lieberman means when she talks about this being a woman's movement. She is urging everyone involved to see the bigger picture. The arguments over a hard foul are small compared to the monumental opportunity in front of them. And Clark brought the eyeballs and the investment. Now it's up to the league to capitalize. By validating Clark's impact while honoring the pioneers, Lieberman provides a path forward, a path where the old guard is revered for revered for building the foundation in the new school led by Clark, and is celebrating for building a skyscraper on top of it. So the legacy of the pioneers isn't being erased, it's being fulfilled. So when a legend like Nancy Lieberman, a woman who bled for this game, tells you that Caitlin Clark has changed everything, it's worth listening. And she didn't say Clark was better than the pioneers. She said Clark did something they couldn't, and she made the whole world watch. That was the key word. That was the key statement to this whole spew that I'm telling you right now. And the stats back it up, the sold out arenas back it up, and the billion-dollar projections back it up, and Lieberman's truth cuts through the noise. The old guard built the lead, but Caitlin Clark is the one taking it global. The foundation is strong, and thanks to this new energy, the future has never been brighter. What do you think? Is Nancy Lieberman right? Is it time to move past the petty debates and just celebrate this unprecedented moment for women's sports? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. And if you appreciate breakdowns that get straight to the point, make sure to like this video, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you never miss what's next. Love you guys. Peace.